right. Hello, hello, hello. I'm going to keep saying hello until YouTube decides to get it up and get it going because there's a little bit of a lag time. We have 3 viewers right now. Welcome to the Royal We Live. This is the Royal We Live, and I'm so happy that you're here. Hopefully, some of you are brand new. If you just watched the video that I posted on staying no contact during this pandemic time, and I hope that you liked that video, but I did make the announcement that I'm going to be live every single night this week to help people deal with the narcissistic abuse and toxic relationships. And so that's what we're here doing. We're going to be here every single night and this week so that you can have someone to talk to, so you can have that community, you can have that support. You don't have to feel alone. You don't have to feel confused. And you can have a place to talk and communicate and vent, and you can call me. Call me. Call me. Call me. And, you know, it's really what it's all about. And so I'm happy to see you all here, and I hope that you guys have a great time on the show tonight. Tanya, it's good to see you. Meow. Meow. Gotcha. Got you. Got you. Jamie Nash, how are you? William, how's it going? Shadow Dancer, hello from out west. And D-Doll, 4th to like tonight. D-Doll, you slipping. You're slipping on me, D. 4th to like, I told my buddies in Discord about this channel. Awesome. Denny May, how are you? So I'm so happy that you all are here. I hope that there's some newbies here from the video that I uploaded. I know that a lot of people watch the organic shows that never thought about joining us live for one reason or another. Maybe this is the time where they come in and join live and see what we're all about, you know. And I'm going to start this. I was going to start song over, but I forgot it's not over yet. But the live community is so different than the organic channels because you and I can communicate. You can call me. The telephone number is right up there. So I hope to get some phone calls tonight. You can ask questions here in the chat. And this is just a great community to be a part of. So be sure, if you are new to this, to like the channel. And I'll get to the topic in just a second, Jamie. Like this channel, hit the notification. I'll tell you what's really cool, Royal We family, is if I get 1,000 subscribers on this live channel, YouTube will allow me to go live on my mobile device. So I will be able to go live outside of this setup, which would be really, really cool. So let's get to 1,000 subscribers. Shall we? Shall we? Now, let's go ahead and get on to the topic. Hey, beautiful hummingbirds in the house. Wow. I have not seen beautiful hummingbird in a hot minute, but I'm so happy that she's here tonight. Melissa Kuhn, how are you doing? Let's talk about the topic tonight. Why not? I'm going to get into it. Let me open up my notes here. Let me open up my notes here to see what we're going to be talking about tonight. All right. Okay, this is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good one. And again, it's going to be short. We're going to go for 30 minutes. But let's go ahead and get started in tonight's topic, right? This is an interesting one. I want to give you guys, and I'm going to give you, because you are in the know. You are in the Royal We community. You are the Royal We family. So you all get to know some of the videos I'm going to do ahead of time. Cheers. I'm drinking some tea, by the way, some hot tea. This is part of what I feel helps soothe any possibility of getting some kind of weird illness or something. So I make some tea, and it's yogi tea, yogi chamomile. So let's get into tonight's topic. Now, tonight's topic is going to be taken from a song that maybe many of you have heard of the song. It's called, the song isn't called The Eagle and the Dove, but I call it The Eagle and the Dove. And doggone it, I didn't get the name of the band, so I'm not going to be able to give credit to them. And a lot of you are going to be like, Kevin, how could you not know the name of that band? It's an infamous song, right? Anyways, the words of this song are very profound, and they help you and I in dealing with narcissism, narcissistic abuse. Interestingly enough, not a lot of people got this out of these lyrics. I did, but I've heard all kinds of different takes on the lyrics I'm about to share with you. But for me personally, it rings true with narcissism, and you'll see why. All right. Here's the lyrics. And I'll tell you what, I will give a vocal outstanding round of applause to whoever names this song that by just the lyrics alone. Are you ready? Are you ready? Here we go. And I'm not going to sing it. I'm just going to read it. Here's the lyrics, okay? Well, there's a rose in a fisted glove, and the eagle flies with the dove. And if you can't be with the one you love, sing it with me. Love the one you're with, right? Those are the lyrics we're going to be looking at. Who here's got it? Who here's got it? I'm going to do it one more time. Well, there's a rose in a fisty glove, and the eagle flies with the dove. And if you can't be with the one you love, honey, love the one you're with. Right? Let's break this down. Now, I've read all kinds of takes on these lyrics here as to what they're possibly saying. And some of the takes are like, well, what they're saying is they're so far away from home as a band that they got to sleep around with roadies and mistresses and stuff, and they're loving them in that moment. And I'm looking at that and I'm going, no, I don't think so. I think it's more, it's these saying, maybe that's what the band intended. I don't know, but these sayings are deeper and more profound. So let's break it down from a narcissistic abuse point of view and where you and I are coming from. Well, there's a rose in a fisted glove. Okay, we're going to put that aside because that's a different topic. What I want to focus on is the eagle flies with the dove. All right? And then right after the eagle flies with the dove, it's if you can't be with the one you love, love the one you're with. So let's focus on just those two lines right there. The eagle flies with the dove. How many of you know what it means when we say the eagle flies with the dove, right? What this means is that both the eagle and the dove, they share the same space. They both share the sky. That's where they live, okay? They both fly, all right? And here's what's interesting. They're both of the same species. They're birds, right? So the eagle can fly with the dove because they're the same species, right? They share the same space. But here's the problem. Here's the issue. The eagle and the dove are two different kinds. And now what's interesting about these two different kinds is both represent power in a different way, right? Eagle represents what? The U.S. of A., United States of America. Powerful, right? Eagle, woo, right? But the dove displays even something more sacred, something more beautiful, something godly, spiritual, right? In the Bible, it's written that the dove, spirit descended like a dove. It took the form of a dove, right? So how many of you would say, well, the dove is just as equally as powerful as a bird, as an eagle? Okay, so here we go. You've got eagle and you got dove, two very powerful, recognized birds. They're the same species, but they're different kinds. Now, the eagle and the dove can even admire one another from a distance, from afar, but they can never be together. They can never be together. Why? Because they're different kinds. They serve different purposes. They're different kinds completely. And I believe a lot of you might be guessing where I'm going with this. Okay? In this world, we have all different kinds when it comes to personalities, when it comes to people, when it comes to tribes, when it comes to nations. At some point in time, we started to cross it all and get mishmashed. And, well, we're all just people, and can't we all get along and love one another? No, what we're finding out is you cannot. There are cultural barriers. There are narcissistic barriers, right? And so when we talk about narcissism, they're of a different kind. How many of you would agree? They're of a different kind. Same species. We're all human. We're all human, but they're of a different kind. They serve a different purpose. Is it not true that there are narcissists in high places doing what they do, right? Because they're able to. And then you have, and I know there's a lot of people that don't believe in the term empath or whatever and this and that, but there's people who are not narcissistic, who are fulfilling other tasks and doing other things, right? And both can acknowledge each other from afar, admire each other from afar, but they cannot be together. the relationship, the intimacy will not work out because they're of two different kinds. How many of you would agree with that? That you thought that it would be a good relationship because these two worlds are colliding, but then it didn't work. You cannot be together. You're completely opposite in the way you view life, the way you handle anger, the way you deal, right? Do you follow what I'm saying? And so the song goes on, and if you can't be with the one you love, sing it with me. Love the one you're with. What this can mean, and what I believe that this means, is that, a dove can look at an eagle can look at a dove and love it from a distance and say, wow, I really wish I could be closer with that. But where they belong is with their kind. Love that. Love where you're at. Love the people that you really resonate with. Love, you know what I mean? Love the people and their nerdiness and whatever, their goofiness and their empathicness. Love that. Be with that, right? So that's my take on the song, and and that's my take on those lyrics. And I just thought that was very profound. I wanted to make a organic YouTube video talking about this. You're the first to know because you are the Royal We family here on the live channel, and I'm hoping to hear something from you all. Dove is love. Dove is love. The eagle flies high. So let's do this. Any questions? Any comments? You're welcome to comment on anything, by the way. Even if you just can't stand my singing, you can let me know because I did try tonight. If you are thinking about that concept and are curious to know, well, why? Why are there different kinds when it comes to people? We're all human. So why does there have to be different kinds? Well, why can't we just all be together? Why can't we all just share one mind and just come together and be happy? Well, it's interesting, isn't it? It's very interesting that God, if you believe God created people, God created everything. God created lots of species, but even within these species, he created kinds, right? One of the things that humans have done, and I believe this, is that we've taken in our own selfishness, and in a way, and I want. We started crossing lines of kinds of people, kinds of tribes, kinds of nations, and I want this, and I want to take a part of it. And maybe we never were supposed to quite do that, right? And I may be stretching, and some of you might disagree and say, no, Kevin, we are, as humans, we have the right and the ability to have any kind that we want. Well, okay, but the reality is that you and I are here because we come across with different kinds of people, raised in different ways, believing in different things, and we tried to make something work, and we could not make it work. I mean, that to me is evidence that there is something to this kinds of people that you should associate with and kinds of people you should not associate with, right? That's where I'm coming from with this. At any rate, let's see. We were watching your awesome dance moves. You're a talented man, Kevin. Most of us can't clap and sing at the same time like me. I can't clap and sing at the same time. I can do one or the other. Turn your heartache right into joy. Okay, oh brother. This is a silly song. It is a silly song, but it's very profound. It's very profound, those lyrics. I'm looking for some questions, some comments. There's Rose and a Fist of Glove, right? Right. Dee's just taken off with that song. I think I hit a nerve in Dee Doll. I think I took her back. I think I took her back to a place and time, right? So let's see what else is going on here tonight, everybody. How is everybody feeling? Everybody feeling pretty good? The phone is up. You're welcome to call in. Hopefully you can see the number behind my head. And yes, Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Thank you, Tanya. That is the name. That is the name. Question: any narc-free success stories for encouragement? Yeah, well, I mean, the video that I posted on the Organic Royal We channel today, if you have not had an opportunity to watch it, I encourage you to go over there and watch it. One, you get to watch me slap myself, right? Because I slapped myself about 5 times in the video. I slapped myself pretty hard just for you. But two, I talk about how you, or I displayed rather, I showed a lot of the internal battles in dealing with narcissists and how you overcome. You realize that it's the emotional draw that draws you into the narcissist, right? It's the emotions that draw you into remembering the good times. Okay, and there's something called wisdom. Wisdom looks at the overall experience, looks at the fakeness of the narcissist, looks at the pain that was caused, looks at the breakdown of your moral values, looks at the destruction that was left behind. And so the wisdom now faces your emotions, and this is how it works in my life, right? It's sometimes a battle. That what I showed you was a battle for me for a long time. Even still with this epidemic right now, it came across my mind. Maybe this is an opportunity to show my kindness and break the ice and reach back out and say, hey, how are y'all doing? How are you? Are you okay? How's everything in California? Blah blah blah. And I had to use my wisdom. Wisdom had to step in and say, Kevin, whoa 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 whoa. And I literally had to smack myself around for a while. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're not trying to listen. You can't save it, and you can't save them. You can't save the relationship, and you don't need validation. You don't need that type of drama or pressure or open door, because once you get involved with those kinds of people, narcissists, abusive people, you do open a door in your life. Call it a spiritual door, call it a mental door, but you open that doorway of communication for whatever comes through that doorway. More abuse, put downs, tension, pressure, neediness, entitlement. It doesn't go away, right? It lives within narcissistically abusive people. And every time you deal with them, you open the doorway to that, okay? So the success story comes when your wisdom smacks down the emotions, reasons with the emotions, and you make the decision to stay no contact, and that's your success story, and you move on, right? And it gets easier with time, but exercising wisdom is like exercising a muscle. It takes time. It takes time. I was like, who is hitting Kevin? Slapping yourself. Yes, I was slapping myself. Yep. It was fun making that video. I appreciate that video because it's how I've been feeling with my toxic mother lately. I reconnected with her. This is from Juday. Reconnected with her, and I've been debating going no contact and been seeing the signs, thoughts. Absolutely. I'm not sure the background of where you and your mother are at. However, if you are an adult and you're out on your own, and it's a toxic relationship, right? And you're not responsible, okay? You don't need to introduce that drama and that pain into your life. Again, you can have the relationship at a distance. You can practice no contact still, right? And you ultimately will heal. That's the only way you're going to heal, especially with parents, with narcissistic parents. When you open up that doorway, you tend to always stay trapped, and you never quite are able to leave home. You're never quite able to venture out away, right? And I've talked about this from a biblical perspective because the Bible talks about honoring your mom and dad and yada yada. But it's very clear, and it's written in the beginning, therefore a man and a woman shall leave the mother and father and then cleave to a new spouse, start a brand new life, completely separate and away from the mom and dad. We're at a disadvantage today because of social media and iPhones and tablets and all kinds of ways to stay connected. And so it kind of programs us to not have an excuse to venture too far away from home. But I made this case before. In the ancient days, even your grandparents and your grandparents' grandparents, when they left home and moved states away, man, they didn't have social media. They couldn't Instagram and Facebook old mom and pa and say, hey, how's it every single day? Emoji, love you. No, man, they said peace out. Peace out. And sometimes, especially when we talk about your great-great-great-grandparents, man, when they left, some of them left different states. Some of them left different nations to come to the USA. You think they stayed in touch with the family they left behind? I mean, maybe, I don't know how. Would they send a telegram? You know what I mean? Once a year, once every 6 months, saying, hi, we're still alive. Okay. And that was the extent of the relationship. You and I don't really have that privilege to get that far away from our own parents. We're kind of trapped because of social media and because of these other avenues. It keeps us very homebodied, home-based, controlled, and stuck in this hierarchy of a family dynamic, right? We did it to ourselves, man. Facebook, thank you very much, Facebook, for making everything all hard. Yeah, exactly, Tanya. How long did the mail take back then? You know what I mean? Our great grandparents, they didn't have FedEx jets. You know what I mean? It was like it was on a boat, and you wrote something, it sailed for half a year just to get to where you wanted it to go. And so, as typically how it goes. So when it comes to dealing with parents, understand that. Understand what you're up against, right? You're up against more pressure than anything else to stay involved and stay close. Now, for some of you, you may, it just may be a part of your culture. It may be something where you live close to home. That's fine. I get it. So, at any rate, let's talk about something else here. There you go, wet wings. Honor thy father by being the best you could be. Successful, God-loving, giving, caring, and free from their toxicity. Right on. That's it, man. That's it. Mike says, I was no contact with my dad for 5 years. He texts me sometimes about football and non-personal stuff, but I hate it because it feels fake. I still feel guilt. I have a large family. Any tips? My tip for you is if there's texts and stuff about football, okay, so be it. All right. I think the problem when you talk about these types of things here, he texts me sometimes about football, non-personal stuff, and you hate it because it feels fake. Well, in his narcissistic way, he's just throwing something out there. We're still here. There's no need to hate it, but I get where you're coming from. You don't have to respond to any of it, but you also don't have to hate it, right? I think that the hate comes from a certain level of expectation, maybe. You expect there to be more. After all, he's your dad. One thing about dealing with narcissists, you got to ditch any and all expectation. If you can ditch the expectation and accept the relationship for what it is, somewhat non-existent, right? And I know plenty of people who have that type of relationship, and in a lot of ways I do myself. You just accept the relationship for where it's at. Very non-personal, right? You move on with your life. You find the things that satisfy you in your life, and you go after that. And then the little messages, football, whatever, they can be fake. Hey, all right, cool. Yeah, all right, nice talking with you, Dad. Thanks for sharing your tips on the 49ers there. All right, peace out. Have a good day. Bye. And I know it sounds sucky to be like that, but that's how it is. And it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not. You can only, in a way, when it comes to dealing with narcissists, you can only kind of work with what you're given. That's all you can do, right? You could be kind in return. You don't have to be hostile. But at any rate, that's my advice. Regina, so glad to see you on this week. I used to be Regina Owen. Ah, right on. It's good to see you, Regina. Happy you're here. Very happy you're here. I've had to trust the Lord 100% in this pandemic. I lost 90% of my income. A lot of people are. A lot of people are losing their economics. They're getting turned upside down here. He is faithful and trust him to provide. Excellent. Things are looking up even though my work is 6 hours a week. It's rough. But hang in there. D, the question, difference between self-care and being selfish. Self-care versus being selfish. Well, I've come to realize that self-care, it's subjective. It's subjective, D, because self-care to you can appear selfish to somebody else. It depends on the other person's outlook, whoever's looking at you, right? So a narcissistically abusive person will look at your self-care and say, you're selfish. I experienced that. I took self-care when I was telling family members and siblings and in-laws, look, don't cuss at me. Don't call me names. Or you're just selfish and you think you're better than everybody. And when it comes to that, I've come to this place now where I would agree with them because that's just how they see self-care. So I'll say, okay, at this point, say, I'm selfish. I mean, if selfish means I'm not going to let you say whatever you want to say to me and act entitled and bully and get it, that's fine. I'm selfish. I'm selfish against that, right? So the selfish aspect of it comes from whoever's looking at you. Now, there's going to be other people who are going to applaud you and say you stand up for yourself, right? That's awesome. They would not dare call you selfish. They're just going to say, man, that's how it's supposed to be, right? So when you get into words of is it selfish or self-care, that's going to depend on who and what you're dealing with, right? So those you're protecting and those who love you and those you love are going to say that's strong self-care. Those who are bitter, jealous, angry, and narcissistic are going to call you selfish. All right? That's the way I would understand that. Right? Let's see what else we got here. Changing the subject. Ex-covert narcs ex-wife continually reaches out to talk to me. It's very subtle. Let it go. Ex-covert narcs ex-wife continually reaches out to talk to me. It's very subtle. Yeah, I would let it go. I would definitely let it go. And I wouldn't talk or communicate with her. There's no reason to, right? What could you possibly want to talk about with your ex's ex? That can just once again keep you in this triangle of weirdness with the ex, and you don't want anything to do with it. So don't talk to the ex's family, friends, or ex. You got to really detoxify yourself, detox from all that bad stuff. It's like starting over. It's starting over, right? That's how I would. Kevin, love the background. Very cool. Thank you. Live life happy. Appreciate that. It's what you feel on the inside, because folks will see what they want to see. Exactly. Thank you, Tanya. See, Tanya's able to say in one sentence what it took me like rambling paragraphs for. Blah, 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 diddy, blah, diddy, blah. And then Tanya just wraps it up. What you feel on the inside, right? That's all that matters, because other people are going to see it differently. This is talking about selfish versus selfless. No. Sorry. Selfish versus self-care. Thank you, right? So what's the difference? Self-care, selfish. And Tanya just wrapped it up. It's however you feel it is on the inside. Stand up for yourself. If you want to stand up for yourself, do it. And it's up for interpretation by others. They're going to see however they want to. And people are going to see it based on their biased worldviews. Narcissists have very biased worldviews. How many of you know that? They go into relationships hating people, right? Feeling very like victims, feeling like they never get what they want. So they're already very biased. And this is why it starts to come out later in the relationship when you're being attacked. They look at these things that you do, like self-care, and they see it based on their own biasness of the world. Okay? All right. Right. Using bad language. I would look at them and say, garbage in and garbage out. Don't dump your trash in my front yard. That's awesome. That's exactly what I would say, too. Blah-diddy, blah-diddy, blah, Jill. Blah-diddy, blah. A lot of you come on here to the Royal We Live, and that's what you hear. Blah-diddy, blah-diddy, blah. All right. Well, listen, thank you all for being here. How is everybody doing tonight? Good. I didn't want to take up too much time tonight. I know that we all have stuff to do. I do as well, but I am going to be here every single night this week for, at the very minimum, 30 minutes. And I want to make sure that we have this option available for people to reach out to community, to be able to talk to somebody, to be able to ask questions. And so perhaps, as more people watch the organic video, if they watch it all the way to the end, they'll jump on board this and they'll join us. They'll join us throughout the rest of the week. Tanya says, I know I usually like what you say. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you. All right, everybody. Well, with that, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. I hope that you all liked the topic tonight. And we'll be back tomorrow night with another topic, a brand new topic to talk about. And also the phone line will be open. So hopefully we'll get some phone calls and hear how everybody's doing. And yeah. Did I miss any questions before I sign off? Did I miss anything from all of you? I'm so happy that you're here. And I know that, a lot of you are experiencing probably some scary times right now, but it will be okay. It will get better. It will get better. And I know that for sure, right? We've been through a lot, and we can definitely make it through this. So, all right, everybody. With that, I'm going to sign out. You guys be safe out there, and I'm going to put on some music for... I'm going to put on some music for Tanya here. Some doot, because it wouldn't be the end of a show without that. Bop, 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 bop. Doot, 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 doot. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here tonight. And join me tomorrow night at same time, 9 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the Royal We Live channel. And bring your questions. Invite everybody in the Facebook support group. Invite people who you feel might need an opportunity to call and talk to somebody. This is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. With that, we will see you. See you tomorrow. I won't stop now. Tanya is awesome. I agree. So is Dee. So is Blue. I miss her. So is Nora. Where you at? We will be back, everybody. Hugs. Good night. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.